say you put yourself out there publicly, right? You start talking to people, taking up space, doing what we talked about here. A few things are going to happen. Number one, people are going to stare at you. Huge. What we try to do is we try to do what we talked about without getting the attention. But that goes against what we were talking about. Hey, you want to be high value? You're going to have attention. That comes with the territory. You want to be the main person? Eyes are going to be on you. People are going to be judging you. They're going to be judging you in a positive way and in a negative way. That comes with the territory. It's also why you want to get out of being in that competitive state, because then you'll get immediately paranoid and shoved in your head. Like, they're all staring, done. So don't try to avoid that. And then it's more so view it as those are amazing opportunities for you to demonstrate that you're really who you present yourself to be. For you to demonstrate, hey, here's a situation for me to demonstrate how grounded I am. Here's a situation for me to demonstrate just how non-needy I am, how secure with myself I am. Those are great opportunities. The same as people coming up to you and say, trying to challenge you, because that'll happen too. You present yourself to be a certain way, people are going to challenge you. They're not just going to necessarily accept it, like, whoa. And here's the other thing. Someone in a competitive is like, oh no, they're challenging me. Someone in a collaborative is, oh, here's a great opportunity for me to show who I am. Awesome. And it's actually good that they challenge you, because they would not challenge someone who they don't think is the shit. That's really, you hear this term like congruence testing, or old school be like shit testing. That's actually good, right? It's like, say you were interviewing someone right now, hypothetically, and you were interviewing someone to take over every decision in your life. Say you had to. You had to give all those decisions over to some person. There's like a few candidates. Say there's someone immediately off the bat, you're like, wow, this person sucks. You're just going to be like, okay, thank you, bye, right? Now say there's someone who shows some potential. Are you just going to accept that at face value? You'll be like, oh, here, take it. Here's the reins to my life. No, you're going to be like, oh, here's some potential. Well, let's dig into this, right? Is this person really who they present themselves to be? What if I put them in a pressure situation? How do they deal with that, right? What if I put them in this situation? What if I say this? How do they deal with that? You're going to want to test them to make sure they're the shit. And it's not done in a bad way. It's not like, oh, let me fuck with this person. It's, let me make sure that they're who they present themselves to be. And you would only do it with someone who has value, where there is that interest. Same as when you're out. If someone comes and tests you, it's because you've actually demonstrated value. It's because they're interested. They're like, wow, is this person really the shit? They wouldn't do it otherwise. So those are great opportunities. Competitive is, oh, there we go, battle time. Someone else is like, oh, awesome, yeah, that's me. Right? And that's the best way to also pass the test, is just by remaining you, right? Versus having this go-to comeback. Because guess what? Say someone throws a test at you and you have a comeback and you're too excited to deliver that comeback, you're already screwed, because you're already reacting. They already threw you off who you actually are. So it doesn't matter. You can say whatever comeback, as long as the foundation is, yep, that's me. And here's the best way to pass all those tests, by actually putting the real you out there. That's when you're the most grounded in authenticity. When there is no front, nothing faking, it's actually you, and you don't have to worry about tests. You're like this open book, like, yep, that's me, nothing to hide. And you can also audit how much anxiety you have while out with how much you have to hide, and how much you're trying to get from someone. If you're trying to take from someone, there's an outcome. You could get it, not get it, anxiety. And more importantly, if you have a certain front, we try to get validation to validate the front, and there's the fear of people seeing through it. So no joke, right? If you go out and you feel stifled, what are you hiding? That's why you're stifled. You're afraid you'll say or do the wrong thing. What are you afraid people will see? That question there, just introspecting on it, and I take clients through this in deeper layers too when it comes to letting go, is game changer. Just sit down with yourself one day and for 5-10 minutes, reflect on that and be like, what am I hiding? What am I afraid people will see? What's so scary or bad about people seeing the real me? Why can't I feel comfortable just being an open book? Not around people who I believe are under me and I'm outside of their league, but around everyone. Even people I might place on a pedestal. Why can't I just let them see who I am? Right? And then you might have reasons. You might have sensations, stuff to let go of. And don't force the answers. Like, a lot of data is just hanging out in that state of openness. So don't rush the answer. Be like, what am I hiding? And then don't let your mind say, I don't know. Just stay there. 10 minutes and see what comes up. More often than not, write it down. It's gold. Okay, but that's a big one. What am I hiding? What am I afraid? And it could be like, oh, if I let them see who I am, I'll be betrayed. They'll take advantage of me, right? Or I'll be hurt, or I'll be mocked. They'll see that I'm not strong enough. They'll see that I'm weak, da, da, da. All that data is great. Now you can work on it. That's stuff to let go of, right? And the more you do that, the more it shifts to collaborative, the more fun you have, and the more you can actually be you. And let's take it one even step deeper and further when it comes to this whole collaborative competitive. Say you're competitive and you actually win in the competitiveness. That follows you. That follows you into your relationships, your friendships, business connections, you name it. And you're still always going to be competing. You'll never be actually able to relax and be you. I know people in relationships who are still asking like, hey, so, my partner said this, and what can I say or do, or what can I do to make them more attracted? I'm like, that's not a relationship. That's a battle. What is it? No, a relationship's both of you on the same team where you can actually be you. Same with friends. Oh, my friend said this. How do I one-up my friend? It's like, that's not a friendship, right? So that vibe, that frame is something you set from the start. People say, don't speak trying for rapport, where your voice goes up at the end. Like, hey, how's it going? But guess what? If you're the shit, you can do that. You can actually reach a point where you're, as cheesy as it sounds, so cool that you can break the rules of cool. Yeah. Like, I can go and be like, hey, how's it going? Oh, really? But people will just sense like, oh, the vibe under it is like, it's not actually trying for rapport. I'm not actually really caring. I just choose. So it's more of like you're choosing to versus reactive energy making you do it. A choice, not forced to do it. Same with body language, right? Like people are like, oh, I could literally go up like this and be like, hey, how's it going? Doing well? Yeah. Totally cool, right? It's like, it's not, so again, it's easier to focus on those because you see them, it's at the surface. Like, what's the line? What's the word? We love surface. And of course, it has its place, right? You can learn a bunch through that. But all those surface things are always meant to point towards the depth, right? It's not the having, not the doing, it's the being. The key dynamic, though, under it all is who's more grounded, what's the intention, who's reacting to who, right? So don't necessarily think you need to put out a ton, right? And even here, like someone was asking outside with live events like this, there's different deliveries, right? Like notice how I'm talking now, very different than the first part of this event, right? So you always want to follow what you authentically feel. Sometimes I go up on stage and I'm like, fuck yeah, and bring it. Some other times, like, oh, you know what, I feel a bit more chill. Let's just embrace that. So it's always embrace and then apply those deeper principles. And remember too, people really connect to authenticity. And that even goes back to what we were talking about, like running out of things to say or saying the perfect things. We like when there are little mess ups. We like it. It's what we connect to, right? If things were just too perfect, too calculated, it's like something's a little bit off. People love those behind the scenes or even in the way that we talk. Like, here's an example. Say you go to like Toastmasters and they'll teach you like the right movements, when to take breaks, no ums, no ahs. I had all that. I still do ums and ahs. I still say okay, I say right, I have filler words, right? Get it, right? But that's what makes it real and human. That's why you connect to it. Otherwise, it'd be too robotic. It's like, hey, do you want some robot reading, an AI reading the perfect script, or do you want some soul? So remember that too. It's like no one wants you to be perfect. You know what people want you to be? Real. And not what you think is real, which might be the fake front you've been used to acting through and who you think is the real you, but the real you behind that. A lot of people don't know who the real them are, or they forgot and lost touch with it. This is also why you hear people, the happiest days of my life were in my childhood. It's terrible, right? It's like, what have you been doing? How's that? What? Right? That's the saddest thing ever you hear. It's like, those are the happiest year, and then it's just gotten worse and worse and worse. No. It should be continuing. You got to ask yourself, okay, what happened that stopped that beautiful blossoming of a human that I am, right? It's like you're blossoming, and then something happened and your life just started going downhill. What happened? How can I let go of that? You know, I found out about this whole self-help socializing world in 2006, right? So 15 plus now years ago. And I used to be really, really shy. Like, no joke, none of you here would recognize me. I'd be in the back. I'd be too scared to speak up. Even the way I'd sit, I'd probably like kind of crouch down like this. It was just beyond terrible. And I was so shy that I couldn't ask people for the time, couldn't make small talk. Even if I went to, say, the restaurant with like my family and stuff, and I'm call the waiter for anything, no way I could do that. So that's really where I started out. People who've known me from back then, in Switzerland where I'm from, they're just shocked just at the change. And, for me, it was, how to say it, a few things I had going is one, I really took responsibility, meaning like, for all of you here, don't wait and stop waiting. It's like if you are, right? It's like, oh, am I putting things off? Oh, maybe tomorrow, the next day. It's like the longer you wait, the more entrenched you're going to be in your comfort zone, right? And your comfort zone isn't just what feels comfortable, it's the patterns that run you and the beliefs you hold, right? This is also what holds us back, by the way, right? Everyone here, you have opportunities to shatter that, yet it's stuff we consciously want, but if it shatters our routine too much, we just won't. Especially, by the way, with this past year and a half of, say, lockdowns and restrictions, people got way too used to patterns of just staying in their small little bubble that, trust me, even if there are things that break it, it's too taxing, right? And I even experienced this, no joke, myself, right? Like, I still traveled a lot and filmed and stuff, but way less than before. And I noticed, like, even say for an event like this, there's a little bit of me where I'm like, oh, this will be fun, but I felt like a small percentage just like, yeah, but it kind of breaks the routine we got going here. We got a nice routine. Do we want to exert all that energy and go against the routine? And everyone feels that, right? That's literally how your comfort zone runs you. It's like you're used to a routine. It might not be the best, but it's what you know, and you've been going like that for X amount of years. Why not go a little longer? Right? That's also the classic LA story of people who move here, they want to make it big, and then they get a 9 to 5 to survive, right, which is necessary, and they just get trapped in that routine. I got trapped in the LA routine myself when I first moved here, right? I worked at Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf at the Grove. That was me. That was my first job, really. Moved here, I was the barista there, pouring the coffees and stuff, and it was actually really fun. It was really fun. But I also sensed myself just kind of being comfortable there, being like, well, sure, I'm in the process of making it, and that's how you rationalize it. It's like, well, at least I'm going places someday, and I just got used to that little routine, right? So we all have this, and fortunately, finding out of all this, I'm like, there is no going back to this. Let's just go all out. So for real, stop waiting. Don't think the routine will change. You'll just get more and more hooked on it, right? So that was the first one. The next one is take action and take a lot of it fast. Smart action, but don't wait. Right? Like even in the first year or two, right? It took a few months before I could even say hi to someone, for example. But after that, I just went ham. And anyone who knew me back then, like I had the reputation of the guy who took the most action. I wasn't the best, but I took the most action. And people even knew if they say went out with me, that they'd be forced to take action because I'd be just talking to everyone and just doing it. So I had that. And I just put my ego aside. I'm like, look, I'm not the best. I don't even care about being the best. I just want to progress. The other thing too is I fortunately was able to cultivate love for the process of socializing from the very start, right? Because it doesn't get better than what you're experiencing now. Like you can already tap into having some of the most amazing experiences socializing, connecting with people right off the bat. But unfortunately, especially nowadays, people place the bar way too high. And if they aren't doing anything perfectly, they self-attack, right? So don't compare yourself to anyone else. Compare yourself to you yesterday. Hey, are you moving forward? Yes, and collect those wins. I'd be celebrating like crazy every little win, right? Like first time I said hi to someone, it was a 30-second interaction. I celebrated that for 2-3 weeks. 30 seconds, right? Once I'm like, hey, hi, and then I literally asked what Owen said, like, are you guys best friends, by the way? And they're like, yeah, and then I ran off. And for 2-3 weeks, I was on cloud 9, because for where I was coming from, that was like, right? But nowadays, that's viewed as nothing. If someone does that now, they're like, oh, we should be doing that. You should be doing way more. What is this? So be inspired by what's possible, but don't compare and self-attack, right? And then it's also just looking at the self-talk you have, right? Like, yeah, be smart. If you're making mistakes and like you're criticizing yourself, that's good to learn from it. But what'll get you ahead is self-encouragement, not self-attack. And in the self-help world, self-attacks pumped left and right. Just read David Goggins, for example, right? And it has its place, but it's not the best way, right? It's like, yeah, calling yourself a little bitch and do it, pussy, whatever, that's can be motivating, but it's not what's going to carry you along the way, right? And the best perspective, and I talked about this in a recent video, is imagine you had a kid right now and you were your own kid, right? Say you have a kid. And say your kid's like, hey, Dad, Mom, I want to go learn to socialize. And say they go say hi to someone for 30 seconds and they get scared and they come back to you. What would you tell that kid? Oh, you should have done more, losers. Get back in there. Would you do that? Or would you be more loving and encouraging? Hey, awesome. That was great. Let's celebrate this. Let's keep going. If you wouldn't say it to your kid, don't say it to yourself. That's the rule. Audit that voice. Hey, are you being mean to yourself? Would you say that to someone else? Would you say that to your kid? Nope. So stop fucking saying it to you. Trust me, that self-encouragement, game changer, right? Especially if you want to learn how to love yourself and respect yourself and have good self-esteem. So fortunately, that was one I also had where I was just always encouraging, loved it the entire time. And that too, if you're viewing it as a chore or a means to an end, you're not going to make it. No human in their right mind would go through this for a long period of time if you're not enjoying the process. So find a way to enjoy it now, for real.